The MMA world is abuzz with controversy surrounding Jon Jones, the UFC's reigning heavyweight champion, who is facing mounting pressure to be stripped of his title amid questions about his future in the sport and allegations concerning his conduct. Recently, Ariel Helwani, one of MMA's most respected journalists, weighed in on the growing petition demanding that Jones be stripped of his UFC championship belt. The petition, which has already surpassed 115,000 signatures, reflects a deep frustration among fans and insiders who feel the division cannot remain stagnant any longer. Jones recently told the UFC what his plans are, or rather, that he has no plans to fight anytime soon. According to Ariel, Jones made it clear he's not interested in facing the interim champion, Tom Aspinall, anytime soon. So, why then is the UFC still holding up the undisputed title fight? That question is central to the current standoff. If Jones has effectively stepped back, the delay in moving the heavyweight division forward arguably falls on the UFC rather than the fighter. What's wild is that Jon Jones is on the verge of becoming the longest-reigning heavyweight champion in UFC history, not because he's defended the belt repeatedly or demolished top contenders, but largely due to inactivity. After winning the title, he battled injuries, defended once against Stipe Miocic, and then disappeared into a long period without announcements or progress. If this continues, Jones could soon surpass Cain Velasquez's record for longest heavyweight reign. For fans hungry to see action, this has become a frustrating saga, as Tom Aspinall sits idly with a belt nobody will let him unify. The petition to strip Jones of the title speaks volumes. With more than 115,000 signatures, it's clear the fan base wants resolution. Ariel points out the complexity of the situation. If Jones told the UFC 2 months ago that he's not interested, then the responsibility shifts away from him. Earlier, when negotiations seemed ongoing, some blamed Jones for not committing to the fight. Now, with Jones apparently stepping back, many are questioning why the UFC hasn't moved on and allowed Aspinall to claim the undisputed championship. This isn't a simple black-and-white issue. There are no easy answers, and the UFC's reluctance to strip Jones creates an atmosphere of uncertainty that clouds the entire heavyweight division. The world wants clarity and progression, and they want it now. While the heavyweight drama unfolds, there's also talk around Jones's recent behavior that's raising eyebrows in the MMA community. Vuga Orahov, an Olympic wrestler who trains alongside Jones, shared some surprising insights. According to Orahov, Jones has been acting differently during recent training sessions. Unlike the typical intense and focused Jon Jones, he's been taking more frequent breaks, leaving practice for extended periods, and then returning only to step away again shortly after. More shocking, Orahov revealed that on multiple occasions, Jones was seen smoking weed and then falling asleep on the couch during training sessions, completely out of character for someone known for his disciplined work ethic. Orahov, who has witnessed Jones push himself to the limits over the years, found this behavioral shift unsettling. He acknowledged that everyone faces personal challenges, and he respects Jones's privacy, but the change from a focused, determined athlete to one with a wavering routine is concerning, especially with a crucial fight potentially looming against Tom Aspinall. Aspinall's speed, agility, and power make him a serious threat, and any lapse in Jones's preparation or mental focus could prove costly. Though Orahov suggested this might be a temporary phase, his genuine worry about how these changes could affect Jones's performance is a reflection of the uncertainty surrounding the champion's future. Meanwhile, the featherweight division is also stirring debate. Rob Whittaker recently voiced strong opinions on the rumored rematch between Alexander Volkanovski and Yuri Rodriguez, saying there's zero interest in this fight from fans. Whittaker points out that when Volkanovski dismantled Yuri the first time, it was a one-sided affair. Since then, Volkanovski has suffered 2 brutal losses, and while Yuri might have improved mentally and physically, the demand for this rematch just isn't there. Instead, the fight that has fans genuinely excited is Yuri Rodriguez versus Diego Lopes. The rivalry between these two fighters ignited at the UFC 314 press conference, with heated exchanges that stoked anticipation for a potential blockbuster showdown. Both fighters hail from Mexico, and UFC knows, slated to take place in Mexico, would be the perfect stage for this emotional and high-stakes bout. The storyline, passion, and cultural significance make it the fight fans are truly clamoring for, rather than a rematch that feels like a done deal. Back to Jones. Amid these growing concerns about his title reign and personal behavior, questions about possible drug use have surfaced, adding fuel to the fire. Although nothing has been officially confirmed, whispers of substance use combined with his odd behavior and training have led to increased calls for the UFC to take action. If these allegations are substantiated, it could further jeopardize his standing and strengthen the argument that the title should be vacated. Ariel Helwani's take on the situation reflects the conflicted sentiment of the MMA community. On one hand, Jones is a once-in-a-generation talent who has done everything in the sport except definitively close out this chapter. On the other hand, the division cannot wait forever for one fighter, no matter how legendary, to decide if he wants to defend his belt. In the end, someone has to pull the trigger. Either Jones steps up and fights Tom Aspinall, or the UFC strips him of the title and lets Aspinall run the show as undisputed champion. The fans want clarity, the fighters want opportunities, and the sport deserves forward momentum. As this drama continues to unfold, one thing remains clear. Jon Jones's legacy is at a crossroads. Will he reclaim the dominance that made him one of the greatest fighters of all time? Or will this chapter be remembered for what could have been overshadowed by inactivity, controversy, and a title frozen in limbo? Whatever happens next, the eyes of the MMA world are locked on Jones, the UFC, and the heavyweight division. The future hangs in the balance, and fans are demanding